Hello, everyone. Welcome to You Are Human and welcome to a brand new year. Yes, we made it. We made it through 2020 and have now wonderfully landed in 2021. Happy New Year, all you amazing people. I hope you're all doing well and have kickstarted the new year on a bright note. I recently saw a post which read 2020 was all about learnings and 2021 is all about applying those learnings. So I hope that we all collectively apply all the positive learnings in this new year. I am personally super excited about the podcast as it is evolving into video releases as well. New year, new me kind of approach. In this episode, with me is the wonderful Amira Sultan. She is the author of Chasing Wellness and also goes by the name I Am Wellness on Instagram. The reason she revolves around wellness is because she had a tough journey dealing with an autoimmune disease which wasn't even diagnosed for years. While she lived in the unknown, she came to know a lot about herself. In this episode, she confidently speaks about the dark days and how today she is spreading sunshine through her chosen mediums. Along with it, she also opens up a very important debate. Instead of questioning, why me? Why don't we ask, why not me? Your struggle started in your early 20s. After your marriage, you were suffering from an illness not for weeks, months, but years. And it was such that you did not even know what you were suffering from. You were clueless for such a long time. Through your sufferings with an autoimmune disease, you had a question, why me? Of course, you were so young, you were newly married, and you were going through so much. So you had this question, why me? But then your mom stepped in and she said to you, why not you? More power to a mother like that. Can you tell us, to me and all the listeners, that how did this statement change your thinking and eventually your life?
When I first found out about my disease, there were many mixed feelings from being relieved that I have finally been diagnosed after around 4 years of being in the unknown to being overwhelmed with fear, panic, and so much anxiety from all the information I was bombarded with about the disease that I've never heard of before. Which at the time the doctors were saying that there was no cure for it. And I didn't know any better. Eventually, these feelings they led me to self pity. Like I would literally feel so sorry for myself and say, but why me? What have I done to deserve this? Is this a punishment from God because of something I've done in the past? And so on. So why me? One day I was talking to my mom on the phone as I was living abroad at the time. And I asked her, but mama, why me? And she responded, why not you? And just that one question completely shifted my mindset from being in denial and feeling so sorry for myself to acceptance. It's true. Why not me? Am I better or superior than others? What makes me better than others? We are all the same. This could happen to anybody. And it just so happened to be me. So, that statement really made me accept my disease. It made me move forward without really feeling sorry for myself, but it rather gave me the strength and the courage to face whatever challenges were coming next.
Right. Because with sickness, it's not just our body that goes through a lot of discomfort, it's even psychologically, mentally, emotionally. Because sometimes we even feel that, am I a burden to my family? Because, if our illness is prolonged and everybody around us gets affected by it. And I can so relate to it because at different stages in my life, I have also fallen sick. And to an extent where in the night, I'm sleeping and I see my older brother, like he's up and he's, tapping my head and he was crying. And I wake up, and I see him crying and he's like,
nothing's gonna happen to you. You're gonna be all right, okay? And I was in my eighth grade, I remember. And I was like, I didn't know what was happening to me, but that incident actually shook me because I was like, okay, something's wrong with me because my brother is crying in the middle of the night, looking at me and saying, nothing's gonna happen. God's grace, it didn't last too long. And, Alhamdulillah, everything was fine. And I'm happy and alive and hearty right now and have made so many memories. But, there's so much of an impact to the family. So, were there any times when you were like, oh my God, this is it? You mentioned that you did live in self pity and you were in denial and then you got to acceptance. But can you elaborate a little more? How was your psychology and your mental state at that time when you did not know anything and seeing your family also going through this sickness with you? How was your psychology? What was your mental state at that time?
Mainly what really made me like mentally unstable was the guilt. Like just feeling so much guilt for everybody around me. Like you said, whoever's around you are suffering as well when you're suffering. So I feel when you're sick, you put so much pressure on yourself by overthinking of what everyone else around you is feeling and thinking, especially your loved ones. At the beginning, for example, I remember when we first came back from our honeymoon and my symptoms started, it was just a month after we got back. So, can you imagine like the guilt I was feeling towards my husband? I
Yeah.
couldn't help but think, what did he do to deserve me? He didn't sign up for this. He didn't choose me when I was sick. And then I got sick right after we got married, literally. And then I was also feeling a lot of guilt towards my parents. I felt like I had disappointed them. I don't know. It just was that wasn't a nice feeling, that I felt like they raised a fun, active, full of life, happy child. And then when they were kind of done raising me, since I got married, I felt sick and was in pain all the time. Well, I was feeling lost and unhappy because,
Mm.
pain makes you unhappy,
Yes.
especially when you don't know what you're going through. I feel like it's hard for any parents to see their children go through pain, and just seeing the sorrow in their eyes,
Mm.
it made me feel so guilty. I didn't want to become a burden on anybody. I didn't want them to stress out about me, especially at the time where I felt like it was my turn to take care of them. And then also with my kids, I kept on feeling guilty all the time. I always felt like I wasn't doing enough for them.
Mm.
It wasn't a nice feeling. It wasn't a good feeling. I wanted to stay home a lot,
Mm.
not have to deal with anybody. I hated seeing uh, like sympathy looks from others,
Right.
especially I feel like when you're young, you want to kind of put that fake up front to show them that you're strong and that you got it. And it really like destroys you, like not just
Mm.
mentally, physically as well. Like
Yeah.
I remember there were days I would be invited somewhere, like I would still go and pretend that everything is okay just so that people won't look at me and think I'm sick or can't do something. But then I would suffer with so much pain afterwards. I think that's kind of like there was ego, maybe because I was so young at the time. I don't know what it was, but what's really like ironic about this? I feel like those people who mainly your close people who actually make you feel so guilty,
Mm.
I feel like they're the ones who kind of get you out of it. With time, I realized that they would actually feel better when they are doing something for me. It makes them feel comfortable knowing that they can help me.
Right.
So once I realized that, I was also feeling more comfortable to let them help me. So having, for example, my husband, pick up my slacks and fill my gaps without making me feel any less, or
Mm.
having his shoulder to cry on, whining to my parents whenever I needed, it made me feel better, and then it made them feel better as well because they can actually help me by soothing me. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And even my kids, they were less than 3 at the time. And all they knew is that I was their everything.
Mm.
At that age, the mother is the superhero.
Yeah.
So that gave me self confidence and strength to be the best mom I could be for them, given my
Yeah.
circumstances.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. And you're so blessed that you have such an amazing family, to support you through this.
I
You,
really do. I feel
yeah.
blessed every single day.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah. And we all should be,
Yeah,
grateful for whatever we have and even for what we don't have.
exactly.
Sometimes we're always thinking about, oh, I have this, so thank you. But sometimes we even have to be grateful for what we don't have
We
because,
don't have,
yeah,
absolutely.
because it's good. It's not there with us for a reason. So we have to be grateful
That's so
even for
true.
them. Yeah. You come across as such a confident and happy, happy go lucky woman. As you mentioned that you lived in guilt and, your confidence was low at that time. Of course, after that conversation with your mother, was that the only turning point, or were there like subsequent events that followed that made you reach to where you are today?
I was blessed with many angels, I call them, like people I met along, throughout my journey. So, for example, there was a friend of mine who I came across there and when we were living in the States. And the same time where I had found out about my disease, she had lost her husband and she had to take care of four of her children. All of them were under the age of 10. So can you imagine? And through sitting together and comforting each other, we kind of both gave each other the strength to get going by. So like every single day, she would be grateful that she has her health so that she could be running behind her four kids and raising them where they needed her the most. And I would go to bed every night feeling so grateful to have my husband to lean on when I need him the most. Having those kind of people in my life are the reason why I'm here today, why I feel so confident. And they really gave me a lot in life.
Right. I think as a society, we do coexist, we do need each other to fall back on. We are stronger when we are together with the support of one another.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
We tend to take our bodies for granted in our Vedic philosophy. And also, I know even a lot of books that I've read in that, the first thing is your body is your temple. That's what, we hear. And what do we do with this temple? We abuse it. We put everything in our capacity, all the junk, everything in our system. Now, Amira Sultan, before the autoimmune disease and after the autoimmune disease, what changes have you made in order to take care of this wonderful temple that you've been given, or the instrument that you've been given of your body? What is it that you do? Because
Yes.
your Instagram is all about, you also go by the name I Am Wellness. And wellness is not just physically, it's even mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. There are so many aspects of wellness. And I totally love your page, the kind of things that you post. They're
Thank
like
you.
so amazing. So I just want to
Thank
know,
you.
like, what are the changes? Like, how have you transitioned? And of course, we as human beings know what we were before and what we are today. So, what is it that you have accepted and you implement in your day to day life now, which you were not doing before?
Honestly, the most important one I would say is to listen to my body. Like really listen to it. Before, because of all the guilt and wanting to accomplish more and being so young, I always felt like I needed to do more. I would push my body to do more things than it could handle, which I had to suffer for with pain afterwards. Like I said before, there was ego and not wanting to receive sympathy looks from others. So there's always, that upfront, the fake upfront that really makes your body in a stress
Mm.
zone. I feel like my ego has dropped. Honestly, I don't care what others think of me as long as I am respecting my body's needs. It
Right.
could be because I don't see sickness as a weakness,
Mm.
or I don't know, maybe I'm just mentally more stable now than before. I'm not sure. But now, if I feel tired, I will take it easy. If I don't feel like doing something, I won't do it. If I need help, I would ask for it with no hesitation at all, which was something so difficult to do at the beginning.
Right.
Besides that, I learned the importance of nurturing your body, maybe food, exercise, or self care. So, with food, for example, I make sure to eat lots of vibrant plant based foods, including many colored vegetables. I'm sure you see it on my Instagram all the
Yes, we
time.
do. Yeah.
Because I really believe that eating as much colored vegetables as you can, you get the most nutrients, antioxidants, minerals, So it's best to get them as naturally as you can get from those vegetables. I also try to avoid inflammatory foods like
Mm.
refined sugars, processed foods, fried foods, gluten, dairy, since my body is capable of getting inflamed so quickly.
Right.
Other than that, just being in nature, grounding, walking, meditating, these things have helped me tremendously with my healing journey.
Wow. Do you meditate on a regular basis?
Yes, I do. And I still find it difficult. I wish I can meditate for longer and I keep on practicing, but I feel like my mind always just wanders
Mm.
around. But it's definitely better than before, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah.
So with practice,
Yes, it's
hopefully.
all practice. Definitely,
It's all
indeed.
about practice.
Yes. Amira, as human beings, it's very easy for us to get off track. Today we are on track, we are disciplined, but it just takes
Mhm.
a night to get us off track. The next day the discipline is gone. So it's extremely easy for us. When we reconnect with ourselves, those are the times when we've gone through something difficult, when we've been hit by something, a blow on our face, which shakes our lives. And then we're like, okay, I need to get back on track. So, the elders also say that we need to get some learnings, we need to fall in order to understand the importance of walking or running or flying. So it is important for us to fall. You said that this entire journey of yours made you grounded. It allowed you to reconnect. It allowed you to connect with yourself in such a wonderful way that you were not aware of before. When we were initially speaking, you also mentioned that this entire journey actually gave you a purpose in life. Can you share a little more about that, please?
I feel like our purpose in life changes according to the situation and times we're at. So I remember when I was at university, my purpose back then was to have as much fun as I could have living abroad while making sure at the time that I got a good GPA and graduated on time so I can make sure that my parents are proud.
Yeah.
When I got married and had kids, my purpose back then was to be the best wife and mom I could be to them.
Yeah.
During my sickness and healing journey, my purpose was really to educate myself as much as I can by attending courses, getting certified to know everything about my disease so that I could make better decisions when faced with so many options from different doctors.
Right.
Now, however, I believe my purpose in life is really to raise awareness about holistic health and well being by sharing my learnings and experiences with others so I could add more value to someone else's health journey.
Right.
Because it really did make a positive impact in my life.
Hmm.
At the beginning, I rarely shared my experiences about my journey. I was still focused on sharing recipes and some quotes, which were helping me along the way.
Hmm.
But once my book was out and I received many feedbacks of how it has inspired some to lead healthier lifestyles, just made me feel so grateful. There is something so beautiful, when you give comfort to someone in need.
Yes.
And during my journey, like I told you, I also had a few special people who I call my
Hmm.
angels who advised me or guided me to the next step and so on. I always felt so lucky to have them.
Yeah.
I just remember how good it felt when I was at my lowest and someone out of the blue would help me in some way. So, yeah, I feel like now because of my education background and also going through it with my own experiences, I
Hmm.
could possibly add value to someone else's healing journey, which is why I love sharing so much on my social media platforms in the hopes to inspire even just one person,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
to
Yes.
start implementing healthier tips, whatever it may be.
Do you tend to hold yourself responsible for what you're doing right now? Because you're like, okay, I have gone through this, I have come out of it. Now there is a responsibility on me. Because now that you're sharing whatever you've gone through, you're trying to create awareness, spread awareness, educate people in your own way, with whatever your capacity is, you're trying to do that. Is it coming from a place where you feel that, oh, I think I'm responsible? I have been blessed in a lot of ways, but now it's my responsibility to take it ahead and spread it to people, tell them, make them aware. Does it come from such a space, would you say?
I think so. I feel like, God puts you through situations for a reason. And I really do believe that I was put through this to
Mm.
help someone else. I just feel it. And when you're raising awareness and sharing your stories with others, especially if your goal is to raise awareness, there comes a responsibility
Right.
automatically. When you post something, you think twice about posting it because people are now following you and they're kind of trying to fix their own issues by following you. Like I have some followers who, they're very loyal. They've been following me since day one and they love to do what I do. So I it's the responsibility in a sense where sometimes I don't want to share something because I don't want it to kind of be taken in a negative way
Right.
to the
Right.
person.
Hmm. Yes. So you are actually analyzing and watching everything that you put because you don't want to do something that would probably offend someone that is following you. Are you being mindful
Yes,
of?
well, I am mindful. I'm definitely mindful of what I put. Like, I like to portray like a positive vibe
Right.
through my page because it's a wellness page. So when I share things, I do have a vision in my mind. I
Hmm.
want to share things to have a positive impact
Right.
on my followers. I want to inspire them. I want to show them that it's so easy to apply just small little things and make little changes just to improve their lifestyle. It could be
Right.
anything. It could be a walk at the beach. Sometimes
Yes.
we all kind of know what's good for us at our core.
Right.
But many times we just need those reminders. We need those constant reminders. So, for example, like before, I used to always walk, but I would never post it. However, recently, once I started to post my walks on the stories, I received so many messages of people who started walking
Wow.
because they just felt like, oh my God, why not walk? We have the beach right here. We have this place right here. We have our park right here. So they know, they know that this is good for them, but they just need that constant reminder.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of social media. Sometimes I feel that, of course, everybody wants to be an influencer today, which I really feel is the wrong term to use. When I was speaking to Hanadi, who is the fashion blogger, and she's brilliant in what she's doing. When I was speaking to her, I was like, influence is such a wrong word because you can be under an influence of alcohol as well. You can be under influence of anything wrong. I think we should be looking at creating impact rather than influencing. We have to create an impact. And that's what you're doing, by just posting a simple thing that I'm out for a walk. That could impact lives or even one person to say, hey, you know what? I think I should also go out for a walk. I think that is the positive side of social media, which I think we all should use it to the max.
Exactly. And I swear, like those messages, they keep me going. They really make me happy. Just knowing that someone is doing something positive or something that's making them happy from just something I posted.
You are so touching lives, Amira. I'm honestly telling you because I am one of them. I keep checking you out, like, okay, what is she doing? And your recipes, they are amazing. And just yesterday, because you had put some recipe with peanut butter, so I was like, okay, I need to try this because I have a jar full of peanut butter. And I was like, okay, I have to try this. So yeah, thank you so much, and keep bringing those recipes and those posts on. I know we did a little bit of serious talk. I would like to ask you, because now we are starting with 2021. What is it that you are dreaming of? What is on your agenda? Because 2020, of course, we all had a lot of dreams. We all had a lot of things planned. Things didn't go our way because God said, guys, pause, take a break. I'm here, like don't rush into things. But 2021, do you have any plans laid out or you're just going to go with the flow? Just something that you can tell us that what is your vision for 2021?
For 2021, I do plan to go with the flow. And I really hope that the world heals. I hope that we overcome the challenges we face with more strength and peace. We faced a lot of issues this year, and I really hope that next year will be the beginning to a better year.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And listen, 2020 was also not that bad. Of course, I know a lot went
Definitely.
crazy, but I think, as you said, everything happens for a reason. And I think there was a
Yes.
reason for 2020 to be this way because I think there was a correction needed in all our behaviors and all our thought process. So I think this was required for us to, come in line. We were off track to get us back on track, maybe.
I totally agree with you. I feel like no matter what, everybody had at least one thing that was a positive from this
Right.
year.
Right. You have Chasing Wellness. Do we sense another book in line? I don't know. Somehow I'm getting this feeling, and you're not giving it to me. So I'm just like asking you straight up. We had Chasing Wellness. Are we going to get something else soon from you?
Definitely not another book, but I'm definitely planning to share way much more on my social media.
Right.
For sure. Like I wanna definitely share more content, more things that people will actually benefit from. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, and I'm sure all your followers, and including me, that is. I'm also super excited to see what all you come up with. Thank you so much, Amira. This has been such a fun-filled conversation, and thank you so much for sharing all about your autoimmune disease and your journey so, so, so candidly. And you're lovely. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to You Are Human. I hope you liked today's episode. And if you did, please subscribe, like, and share. I would love to hear from you and to know what you thought about this. See you in the next episode. Until then, remember, our time is limited. Let's make the most of it.